Hey everybody, Lance with Treeline Products here. Today we're going to cover how to create a sight tape using downrange speeds captured from the LabRadar device. So this can be a one-shot sight tape. You can also take a few shots and kind of average them out. But today we're going to show how to use the Precision Cut archery sight to plug in those downrange speeds. Now, they do have a 14-day free trial you can take advantage of to get set up, which should give you plenty of time to get your bow in there, kind of see what the different sight tape options are. Sky's the limit there. So let's talk about some of the requirements to do this. We will need the sight's make and model, the arrow weight. Your measurement 1 is going to be peep to pin at full draw. And then the second measurement will be the center of the arrow to the center of the peep at full draw. So an illustration of that here. So your sight radius is your peep, center of your peep, to the center of your housing where the pin's at. The second measurement is your peep height. So it'll be center of your peep to the center of your arrow at full draw. Check out the Treeline Products shop. We've got an Archery Triangle in there that makes this easy for right and left-handed shooters. Okay, so I'm logged in here to the Precision Cut site, and I've got this generic bow set up. And we're just going to leave it as a black gold mountain light. But if we'd like to change that, we can simply edit the bow here. Typically you'd give your bow a name. And as you can see, there are a lot of different sights in here. We'll kind of scroll through these so you get a look. Now, if your sight tape is flat and it's not on a wheel and it's not listed in here, you can use the other model down here at the bottom and print it that way. But as you can see, when we're editing the bow, we get asked for that peep height and the sight radius. So in our example, we were at 30 inches. And 3.75. So we've already got those in here accurately, so we'll go ahead and hit update. Go back to my setups. And typically if you update a setting in here, your sight in here is going to tell you that you've made an adjustment and you need to reset your bow in. So let's go ahead and do that by changing our arrow. So our arrow weight in the example was 450 grains. So let's edit our arrow. And we're just going to make it 425. Go back to my setups. And then we're going to click on more options. And then we're going to select sight in. Okay, so to sight our bow in, we're covering the LabRadar setup with the downrange speeds. So we'll leave it on downrange speed today, but there are other sight in options. If you know your density altitude, go ahead and enter that there. And then we're going to use our downrange speeds of 20 yards and 60 yards. Now you see here that we have 22 and we have 62. And the reason for that is since we're using the LabRadar to track our downrange speed, the LabRadar device, when it's in the Doppler mode, takes about 2 yards to pick your arrow up. So we're just accounting for that here in the tape. So we're going to add 2 yards to each of those. And then we'll put our speeds in here. So 260 and 248 were our examples. So we'll leave those. We'll hit update site. So now everything is ready to print a site tape. So we'll go in here to site tapes. We'll find that bow we just set up and hit select. All right, now we're going to tell it how many yards do we want our tape at. So 10 to 100, that should work pretty well. When do you want to start your 1 yard increments? So, or you can start them in 1 yards or 2.5 yards. And guys, down here in the site tape settings, this is where you make all of your adjustments. So how do you want it to look? What kind of fonts? Where do you want the numbers? Do you want, first and second digit? Do you want to put a custom label on there? There are a lot of settings here. So once we've got that kind of the way we want it, we'll go ahead and hit compute marks. And then over here to the right is our site tape, the way that we've told it to lay out, spaced out properly for our site and our specific setup using the Downrange Speeds. And printing this, you can print this on regular paper, use like some Scotch tape to cover it up. They do make label paper that you can print on an 8x11. If you use inkjet, you just want to make sure and put a piece of tape over that. Laser jets don't typically bleed as much or at all, but just to be safe, doesn't hurt to throw a piece of tape over it after you stick it on. Thanks for watching.